Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the stream. We are live here on Monday afternoon. Need to remind all of you, if you have not signed up yet for Underdog Fantasy, this literal week that we are doing this right now, we've got 12 days left to lock to the beginning of the 2024 NFL season. Now's the time to do it. A $1,000 deposit bonus. I would guess it's going to be the only time that they do it all year long, where you are able to deposit and get up to $1,000 deposit match. So make sure you're doing that, because I do know that some of you like to hang out and watch just to learn about fantasy football, and you're not on Underdog. So get on Underdog. The plan for today's stream, very simple. We are going to draft a couple of Best Ball Manias. I know that I am up against Peter. I know that I believe Liam is also live right now as well. So not ideal. I'm making an old man. I've been saying that I want to today at the beginning of the NFL season. Guys, that is exactly what I'm gonna do. When I say it, I mean it. It's also, the channel is definitely growing right now. I think we are up to like 400 or something subscribers just this week alone, which has been very cool. And if you're not watching live, that's fine. If you're watching us, if you were watching Pete's stream, if you were watching Liam's stream, fine by me. Those are my friends. I root for them to succeed. I have 30 more Best Ball Manias left to do. Not a lot of time left to do it. I believe the contest is 87% full right now. So we don't have a lot of time. We are really up against it. The contest is 86.9% full right now. This is BBM. Someone do the math for me. I guess BBM number 121. I just hopped in. So we're going to be knocking this out. I'm going to do 2 today. ADP chasing is actually an hour earlier. ADP chasing is going to be at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. I also am going to have an article coming out on the Patreon. If you are not a member of this channel, if you're not a member of the Patreon, what are you guys doing? I know you guys all want to support me to try and live my dream, but it is going to be the tenets of the perfect fantasy football draft in 2024. We are in Best Ball Mania. We luck out again. We get pick 4. It's incredible. Guys, it's absolutely incredible that we keep getting these premium draft slots. Juju and weekly winners, not for me, man. Not for me. Although I will say my extremely galaxy brain strategy of waiting to enter weekly winners until the end and doing these slow drafts is already paying off. There are a ton of guys right now, if you are in these slow weekly winners, who are legitimately going to be like 5% owned. I believe, if I remember the timeline correctly, I think JJ McCarthy's season-ending injury happened after weekly winners was closed for fast drafts, so it was slow drafts only. So definitely, Jalen Naylor, Carson Steele, lots of ways, lots of ways that the slow weekly winners. All right, we are pick 4. You guys already know who I'm going to be selecting. CeeDee Lamb goes 1, McCaffrey goes 2, Tyreek Hill goes 3. We will be selecting Justin Jefferson with the 4th overall pick in this draft. It's incredible. Favorite wide receivers, picks 120 through 180. Can tell you right now, if I look at my rankings, A.D. Mitchell at the top of that list for sure. Jalen Polk, very high on that list. Xavier Legette, Jalen Tolbert, Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch, Jalen McMillan, Luke McCaffrey, Wan'Dale Robinson is I like to get one of those guys in a lot of drafts. I don't like to do a lot of drafts where I'm taking 2 of those guys. And obviously, that's where we start to see a big difference between managed drafts and I need to change the overlay. There we go. Got the nice new overlay that Zach made. Zach actually clean this up a little bit more. I just didn't have time to download it and add it into StreamYard before we started. Thoughts on Gabe Davis? I've been drafting a lot of Gabe Davis. I went from having like none of him to, let's see how much I've got up to 5% of Gabe Davis right now. It does sound like the Jacksonville Jaguars want to kind of expand his route tree. And I'm not the first person to make this point, but Gabe Davis is actually a pretty useful NFL player. He tends to make defenses pay when you treat him like Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Like if you leave Gabe Davis on an island in single coverage, he definitely has a tendency to make you pay in a way that like the DJ Sharks and Marquez Valdez-Scantlings of the world don't. And, Brian Thomas Jr. is kind of a better fit for that sacrificial X wide receiver role. I wonder if this could be, I wonder if Gabe Davis could sustain like an 18% target share in this offense. Ben said, they suspended my account today because I was entering too many drafts and triggered like a responsible gaming thing. SMH, I'm trying to grind. Ben, if you DM me on Twitter, I can try and help you out. If you DM me on Twitter or ping me in Discord, I can try and help you out and get you unbanned. I will do my best. I'm gonna minimize the draft caddy thing there. All right, yeah, the Steelers. A lot of teams have found out what Gabe Davis can do. How about the Kansas City Chiefs found out what Gabe Davis can do? He is not. Gabe Davis is not a zero. All right. Well, pretty easy start here. Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson. Don't love that they both have Week 6 buys, but that's fine. These are probably my two favorite Week 17 games: the Los Angeles Rams and Arizona Cardinals, and Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay Packers. Those are two spots I'm really trying to. Those are two spots I'm really trying to exploit. So we have another Justin Jefferson Cooper Kupp start. I definitely have some of this start with Cooper Kupp at pick 28. That's a low key Rashee Rice thing, where Cooper Kupp has been one of the steadiest risers in ADP over the course. Ben says, "Thanks, man. I think the sports specialist said he would unban me, but if you need help, if you can't get unbanned, I will. No promises, obviously, but I will see what I can do for you." We get an early Kyren Williams selection here at the 210. How many no badges do we have? We got one. We got two. Only two no badges. That is a worse ratio than yesterday. Obviously, the badges don't mean that much at the end of the day. They are a little helpful in terms of knowing, who you might be up against. Kyle got Worthy in pick 80 of his home league last night. Yeah, he's super buried on Yahoo, super buried on ESPN. I think he's like 89 or something. No, he's 108 on ESPN. I know because I did just do a home league on ESPN the other day. No, Jeff, this you don't even have to go this in depth. It's not Devin A. Chain is the Alvin Kamara's of Chris Johnson's. He's just Gen Z Chris Johnson. You don't even have to go that in depth. You don't even have to go further than it's just he's Gen Z Chris Johnson. All right, we are up. I'm going to do something you guys have not seen me do very much, but Saquon Barkley is the highest in my queue. This is a 10-spot ADP value. I already have two wide receivers that I like with two quarterbacks that I can use with them. This is when I get my exposure to these guys. This is how I get exposure to Saquon. This is how I get exposure to Pacheco, to Derrick Henry, is when it's in a spot like this. So bang, we are going to start Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and Saquon Barkley. I don't think Saquon is like a great pick this year. I think he's probably a bad pick, but you can't beat that cost. I mean, I've got him ranked ahead of Kyren. Really, I think he's very similar to Jonathan Taylor, who goes, kind of at 15. So are there guys you're targeting more on DK versus Underdog? Well, I mean, Xavier Worthy is definitely one of them because he's Taysom Hill, who you can only select on there. Just in general, Worthy is ahead of Rashee Rice on Sleeper. I got to admit, I'll come clean to you guys. I did take Xavier Worthy at the 4-7, I believe, in my home league. That is on Sleeper. My boy Bobby got Worthy at pick 110. Free. Absolutely free. Saquon at 28 is pretty filthy. There's definitely an argument that he should be one of these 2-3 turn picks. The thing that mitigates it, obviously, is that team has McCaffrey a huge chunk of the time. What is my Anthony Richardson exposure? Yes, it is pretty low. My Richardson exposure right now is 4.7%. It's gonna be a little bit higher when all the puppy slows and mini schnauzer slows and everything come to a close, because he just fell a lot in those. I don't really know what the reason is, but he did fall a lot. Yeah, 4.7 for Worthy is very early in a home league, but he was so one, we have like a round of keepers, so like all the first round guys more or less are kept. So it's more like the 5-7-ish. But on top of that, it's a league with all my friends and stuff from college. So it's all guys in Kansas City. So it's like 10 Chiefs fans in the league. So it's very hard to get a Kansas. I believe Pacheco was the second round pick. very, very hard to get Chiefs players in that league. And nothing's more fun than beating your friends with a player that they all wanted. That is a great feeling in fantasy football. You get the sleeper, you get the guy everyone wants and is kind of trying to play chicken on, and then he just starts to score a billion points. That is a phenomenal feeling in fantasy football. All right, we are up in 3 picks. The queue is looking pretty cozy. The 3-4 turn did the Mahomes Rashi thing, not the Mahomes Kelce thing. That's interesting. Very interesting. I think that's almost the optimal move these days, but it's not the most popular move. We are up in 1 pick, and I'm just going to go ahead and take Travis Kelce here. This is it's clear value on my board. Another week 6 bye, but that's 2 big fallers to get me into a cool part of the game tree here, where this is not going to be this will be a super rare ADP pairing, actually. Not going to be very many Barkley Kelce teams. Not going to be very many Barkley Cup Kelce teams. So going to take the faller there. I probably would have taken T. Higgins a la Sam Sherman if Travis Kelce was not there, but I think Kelce was pretty clearly the pick. T. Higgins goes 4-7. I mean, they're also kind of depending what these guys do. I do have a No Badger behind me. Although this No Badger is a very good team. Tyreek, Kyron, Ayuk. He's got set up Lamar Jackson. Good stuff from him. I do believe that Drake May did enough to solidify the starting role last night, for sure. That is definitely my opinion. Oh, someone mentioned this in the YouTube comments, making the draft board bigger. So when it comes back up to my pick, the draft board is going to be a little bit. Oh, I need to minimize the draft caddy. How are we doing on our buckets? Still bucket 5 at wide receiver, so this is almost certainly a wide receiver pick. Got Cooper, Worthy, Pickens. I mean, honestly, I don't love taking Pickens here. We got, wow, ETN Kincaid on the turn. This team in the 1 hole is kind of cooking. CD, Neighbors, Devonta, ETN Kincaid. This team that took Garrett Wilson, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, and Jalen Hurts is gonna be learning Cortland Sutton, buddy. All right, Amari Cooper goes. Lamar Jackson goes. Xavier Worthy, welcome to the team. So we've got a little mini Kansas City Chiefs stack. Well, not mini. We've got a Kansas City Chiefs stack without Mahomes going here. So again, I like doing stuff like this and doing 3 quarterback teams where you've got the elite weapons. I think you can do this. I think the team this works the best with is the Texans, where if Stroud goes naked or Stroud goes early and you're not able to push Stroud all the way around, you can take 2 of the Texans guys and then take, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, and Bo Nix. Or that's a good spot to take Fields. I think that is those type of teams. Like, this would be a great team to take Justin Fields. Yeah, this is a Drake May ass team if I've ever seen one. That's definitely true, and that's true. I do think Drake May did enough to solidify the starting role. It was pretty clear from the comments of the coaching staff last night that they know that they've got an issue on their hands, because what it sounds like to me, my reading of the situation is that the front office would prefer, or not the front office, the ownership would definitely prefer Jacoby Brissett to be the starting quarterback. The rumors are is that Kraft just really likes Jacoby Brissett. But if you're a coach, Gerard Mayo and Alex Van Pelt are there every day, sitting there with the, they're there. They got to talk to these players. It's kind of the Justin Fields thing all over again, where it's like you can't lie to the players. You can't tell the players like, oh, we gotta go with the veteran because the veteran's better. The veteran knows that's not true. Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. The cat is out of the bag. This is the big issue, though. It does seem like they're afraid of the offensive line just getting Drake May killed, which is so legit. It's so legit. He can learn bad habits playing behind an offensive line that poor. Obviously the thing on the other side would be, though, is it might be kind of good for fantasy if he is playing behind that terrible offensive line. We already saw it on a couple snaps last night. That offensive line breaks down and he is getting out of the pocket. He is scrambling. I thought the best play that May made in their last preseason game on Sunday night was the throw that was negated by a penalty to KJ Osborne. the like 45-yard touchdown or whatever, where he's rolling to his left, he squares his shoulder, Osborne is wide open, he just absolutely throws a dart that took the safety by surprise. But the other really good play was the play where he basically looked like Josh Allen, where, I mean, he got it. Oh, let me make this pick real quick. This is a Keenan Allen pick. It's Keenan way after ADP. Keenan 10 spots after ADP gives us another quarterback. We got a lot of week 6 buys. Okay, keep that in mind. We have got a lot of week 6 buys. But the third and 10 run where the offensive line broke down, no one was open. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of snaps where the Patriots wide receivers are not open, and he got a first down out of nothing. You don't see a lot of quarterbacks, even scrambling quarterbacks. This is like kind of like a Lamar Allen thing, where they're able to get the first down running between the center and the guard. A lot of the times, what you'll see is they roll out to the right or they roll out to the left, depending on their handedness, and a linebacker overcommits, they make a miss, and then the first down is easy. It's a lot harder to be athletic enough to get it going up the middle. And so I was pretty impressed by that play. I'm not clicking Juju in the 18th today, man. I can't do it, Beefcake. I cannot be clicking Juju Smith-Schuster in the year of our Lord 2024. He's got nothing left, man. The Patriots paid $9.6 million to get rid of him. $9.6 million to have the right for him to not be on the team. $9.6 million to have him not be on the team. It's a lot of money. Wow, an early Evan Ingram pick. All right, by ADP and by ranking, it's David Montgomery. I think he might go here, though, to this, the Kyren Williams. Seems like he knows what he's doing. He's probably going to take, well, there's no obvious correlation. But I would snap David Montgomery off here. He go, yeah. All right. Well, it's just another, okay, not another week 6 buy. Connor, how many quarterbacks? I've got Caleb set up. We've got Stafford set up. Yeah, let's do James Conner. I'm not like 10% James Conner. Like, I like James Conner. I don't love James Conner. That pick right there has been where I take Jameson Williams a lot of the time, or Lad McConkey a lot of the time. But I think with a wide receiver room of Jefferson, Kupp, Worthy, Keenan, that's a better spot to try and get. So, by the way, non-zero that Kyler. Okay, well, I was going to say non-zero that Kyler comes back around. Turns out that's not true. Salt Shaker snaps an uncorrelated Kyler Murray. No Ram, no Cardinal right there. I mean, not that I'm saying it's a bad pick. Kyler Murray is always a good pick. The last double-digit day away from football. Tomorrow we had seen, is it 10 days? My God, it is time to start hammering some best ball mania drafts, or I'm not gonna get all the way there. Jefferson at 4, Kupp at 21, Barkley at 28. Loving that. I probably would have not taken Jalen Hurts had he come back around. I love getting Kelce at the 4.9, Xavier Worthy at the 5.4, Keenan Allen, pick 69. Nice. James Conner, pick 76. This is just this is your very garden variety start. Best. Well, actually, I suppose that's not true. I was going to say it's a real garden variety, but these combinations of players, Kelce and Keenan, are largely going to be on this side of the board. They're going to be, it's like Kelce would be like pick 39 and Keenan would be pick 58. So I'm basically adding in a Worthy, which some teams are going to have on the right side of the board too. So I guess that's not 100% true. This month, the Connor pick could end up being bad because the wide receivers are going to be gone when like there's going to be no wide receivers. Oh, and Caleb goes to the JSN Rome drafter at 84, 85. I mean, not that I'm saying it's wrong, but it is annoying for me personally. Stefan is asking, is it fair to say that this year's RB class doesn't look as bad as advertised for prior to all the reports about its quality of the NFL draft? So the thing about that is that that's kind of every running back class, because every running back class will have guys who can kind of play, and it'll just be a matter of situation. Like, I don't know, Trey Benson could be great. We just have not really seen much of him yet. But a guy like Audric Estime, there's an Audric Estime in every class. You know, there's always an Audric Estime. There is always a Dylan Laube type guy. There's always I guess there's not always a Braylon Allen, but there's just kind of always guys who can contribute. Jake enjoyed my Dynasty appearance on Fantasy Football Today with Heath Cummings. My favorite rookie quarterback is Caleb. My favorite rookie running back. I guess it's Estime, probably. And my favorite rookie wide receiver is Xavier Worthy, for sure. All right, we are up in one pick. I definitely should have taken Ladd McConkey. 100% should have taken Ladd McConkey. We are in a tough spot here at pick 93. I maybe would have taken Bowers. I'm going to do something a little bit off type. I was pretty encouraged by the usage from Tony Pollard yesterday. And you guys can see here, I've only got 9.4% of Tony Pollard. I'm going to try and start nabbing a little bit more of him. And this means that I can do a 5 running back team if need be, maybe even a 4. Auction league, would you prefer a top wide receiver? I would definitely prefer getting Marvin Harrison Jr. In any kind of auction. I guess, maybe it depends a little bit on your team. Like, is your team ready to compete now? Is your team rebuilding? But I would, in Dynasty, kind of the way auctions work is I would really prioritize getting high-end talent as much as possible. BBM filled just over 2% yesterday. If that rate holds and doesn't increase, it fills by Sunday night. So I guess my plan should be getting done by Saturday. That is going to be my plan. And if I have to do some off stream, I've drafted a couple off stream anyway, so it's not like I'm not doing any of that. What quarterbacks do we have live? This might end up being a problem. We got Darnold live. We got Stafford live. Caleb is not live. Mahomes is not live. Levis is live. Kyler is not live. So we could find ourselves in a little bit of a spot of bother here at quarterback, actually. Seems like this is a draft where a lot of them are going early. I am also feeling around 18 KJ Osborne here personally. KJ Osborne is just a very good round 18 pick. Wide receiver is going to be very thin at this next pick. It's like Wicks, Shakir. Could take another running back and be done at 4. Could take Njoku, be done at tight end. All right, let's do this. Should we do Shakir or should I do Javonte to set up Bo Nix and be done at running back? If I take Javonte here, I got to be done at running back. Let's do that. Let's take Javonte and be done at running back. Let's just see what happens. That was a tricky spot. Do I play anything other than best ball? Yeah, I do home leagues. I do high stakes managed. I do Dynasty. I'm in like 25 Dynasty leagues. I think I'm in like 4 home league style leagues. I've got, I believe, 7 teams in the Fantasy Football Championship main event. So that's $2,000 to enter, $1 million to first place. I got a bunch of teams on the NFC in the online championship, which is $250,000 to first place, and the primetime, which is $500,000 to first place. Thoughts on Luke McCaffrey after the Dotson trade? Feels like part of that trade definitely had to be about thinking McCaffrey could play. Now the reporting has been that is not true. I'm just going to put it on the record that I don't believe that reporting. I sort of believe that Luke McCaffrey is just a good football player. I believe he's good at the game. So I think he's gonna get on the field. Yeah, I think Best Ball Mania fills. I likely believe that Best Ball Mania fills on Saturday or Sunday. More ceiling upside, Braylon Allen or Ray Davis. I mean, it's got to be Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen is maybe my favorite running back in the NFL right now. All things considered. Yeah, DFS sports betting. So there'll be DFS programs on the channel where I'll be using the RotoGrinder Sim Labs and the RotoGrinder Solver. So we'll definitely be doing some DFS here and sports betting as well. Going to have a Friday sports betting show with Rich Rebar and then a Friday afternoon prop show with some of the guys from Unabated, where we're going to be using the Unabated tools. Very, very, very big on that. I've asked around and got a few more opinions on the You Don't Know Ball pick of the year. Pacheco in round 2 or 3, Sutton, Keenan Allen. No, dude, Keenan Allen knows ball. Keenan Allen is a ball knowing pick for sure, in my opinion. Again, just one man's opinion, but Sutton definitely. All right, that pick right there just saved me. The Rico Dowdle pick, because I would have taken Rico Dowdle and I lied about not being done. 80 Mitchell, is Lawrence still there? I'm going to take Gabe Davis. I have Mitchell higher, but I am going to take Gabe Davis because I just want to add their potential quarterback. And we do have a Tennessee Titan. So small little tie break there for exposure stuff. Pete trying to get me in bets on Carson Steele, bro. Have fun learning alligator, buddy. It does hurt to tackle Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen is a grown-ass man. How big of a hit is Braylon on Breece and Dynasty? I mean, these are things that really only matter on the margins. It wouldn't really make me feel all that differently about Breece, really. I think obviously it's just a very good situation for Braylon Allen to be in. The thing that would maybe make that spot worse would be if Isaiah Davis plays well enough to earn some snaps, which does happen. You know, if there are spots like that where there are 3 good enough running backs to play, then maybe you'd start to be worried a little bit. Is there a player in the first 8 to 10 rounds that you have 0% of this year? I don't think so. I definitely it was early, but I just have done so many drafts now. I mean, I think like Sutton, I've got 0.6% of. Barkley, I have less than 1% of. There are definitely multiple guys that I've got like almost none of, but not guys that I've got like just because you do enough drafts. I mean, I think this is like my 750th draft or something like that. I guess I don't know how many slows I have going right now. But if you do enough drafts, you're going to get into a draft where some guy you hate is 30 spots after ADP, and you're just going to be like, well, I guess I'm just taking that. Yeah, Cooks, good example. A guy who I think is like a total zero, basically, but I'm still taking him because sometimes I've got Dak, and when you have Dak, no one else really wants him either. Cooks is a total no one wants him pick. He goes so far after ADP, you just end up with some of them. Yeah, Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is a good one. I've got 1.3% of Deontay Johnson, which is effectively nothing. All right. Well, this is a clear Jalen Polk spot. So we've got Trevor Lawrence did go, by the way. Trevor Lawrence went to this turn team with ETN and Brian Thomas. I guess I should have been paying attention to that. These picks right here. He did already have Dak and CD though. I mean, it's fine. I'm not castigating him. So we've got Stafford live. We've got May live. We've got Knicks live. And of course there's always money in the Justin Fields stand. There's always money in the Justin Fields stand. Dallas has a good playoff strength of schedule. Yeah, they definitely do. Isaiah Davis is from Jordan's hometown. I'm rooting for him as well because I think I've got like 30% of him or like 25% of him in the big board. That was maybe a little bit misguided. I actually know it wasn't that misguided. I was pretty into him. I thought he was a pretty good prospect. It just was brutal that the Jets took both of them. The most annoying thing about that was that the Cowboys didn't take Braylon Allen. The Cowboys traded a 4th round pick for Trey Lance, and they could have used that pick on Braylon Allen. Please don't put it in the newspaper that I'm mad that Braylon Allen didn't end up being a Cowboy. When is it okay to reach in the earlier rounds? I mean, whenever you want, dude. I mean, I think you should just be thoughtful about what you're doing. So like, John Boy Beats was on the channel yesterday, and he was talking about doing McCaffrey at 101, and then doing Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs here at the 2-3 to set up Lamar and Andrews at the 4-5. That's a great example on how to be thoughtful about reaching. That is a super, super thoughtful way to do reaching. Grant, how many years you've been playing best ball, and what is your top finish in best ball? I guess I've been playing for a decade. I've been playing. You guys don't even know about this history. These used to be hosted on a site called myfantasyleague.com, and when they were on myfantasyleague.com, you could only play cash games. So you'd pay $10, and then the winner of the individual $10 league would get $100. So you wanted to do like 500 of them, and you still couldn't make that much money at NFL 10s. I did a bunch of those. My best finish, it's hard for me to say. I've never made the finals in any of the $1 million contests, so I've never made the finals in Best Ball Mania. I've never made the finals in the DK Millie. I want to say I finished 19th in one of the puppies. I don't know. I've had a couple decent finishes in some of the small. We 2 years ago co-drafted a Mastiff, which is a $1,000 best ball league. We finished second in that. Tolbert, who is it? Mooney adds Cousins. Is Cousins still there? No, Cousins isn't even there, so that would be stupid. Man, this is a bad spot to be in, boys. Is there a tight end worth taking? No, you can't take Hawkinson with Kelce. Stafford, 147. Let's just take Stafford. Let's get Stafford and Cup. Set that up. I mean, that's a real spot where could go either way. Could go that. I mean, it is kind of run. You have to calculate your own risk on how tilted you would be if you missed a quarterback. Like maybe I could try and push him to have gotten, but I would have pushed him to get a wide receiver I was reaching for. So half dozen of one, six of the other. Yeah, I think you should keep Pook over A-Chain. Just always keep the player who projects for more points, but you can't make a bad decision there. Whatever decision you make with a round 16 Puka versus a round 12 A-Chain, it's the exact same thing. You have a very good keeper. You have one of the best keepers in your league with those decisions. Do you guys see this? I need to draft a response to J-Mac. J-Mac has 39% DeMarcus Robinson. And I told him that was the most unhinged thing I've seen in a truly unhinged summer. I need to respond to him about that, but I don't even really know what to say. All right. We are up yet again in round 13. I'm trying to think if there's not really another tight end that makes sense here. I already took Javonte Williams. Deshaun Watson goes. All right, quarterbacks are just absolutely flying here. Maybe I do a little Braylon Allen here as a treat. Herbert goes. Braylon as my last running back. Or Jalen Tolbert, who this is a real reach on Jalen Tolbert. Let's do Braylon and be done at running back. And that adds Aaron Rodgers too, if we really want. Do I think Drake May starts? I do believe that Drake May starts. Maybe not week 1. Maybe they give Jacoby Brissett the ceremonial Tyrod Taylor start. Certainly possible. 39% DeMarcus Robinson. Seriously, I mean, fuck, I don't know. What do I know? You know, at the end of the day, we're all just living a little. What do I know? This man has 56% Brian Thomas Jr. on DraftKings. Crazy. Beefcake traded A-Chain and a pick for CMC in a keeper league last year and then lost to Lamar and CD in the finals. Tough scene. C-Money, Boomer Sooner. Salute you, brother. Jordan in his auction league got a lot of good players. A lot of good players. Bob Hale, you're welcome for the content, man. I'm really enjoying it. All right. This one is a little tricky. These August drafts sometimes feel a little easy. This one does not feel easy. This one feels tough. I kept striking out at quarterback. Maybe I should have just taken Kyler Murray here. I guess I didn't feel the vibe of the room well enough. Maybe I should have known when Stroud went ahead of Richardson that this was likely to be a crazy quarterback room. But just more very good players. I did go to K-State, but I am an Oklahoma University fan, so I attended K-State because they just gave me the most money. They gave me the largest scholarships to go there, and I'm from Kansas, so I got in-state tuition as well. But I grew up my whole life being an Oklahoma fan. My dad's from Oklahoma. All his brothers and everything went to the University of Oklahoma. We were a big Sooners family. Oh man. 159. Pick 159 to Marcus Robinson. With Marcus Robinson as your wide receiver 4 with Adam Thielen, Brandon Cooks, and Garrett Wilson. Godspeed to you, sir. This is also, I mean, is my fandom up for sale? No. Am I the biggest fan, lifelong allegiance to anyone? I mean, depends on your perspective, right? It's a matter of perspective there. I was a Cowboys fan for like most of my life, and they were, they sucked. The Cowboys gave me no reason to care about them at all, so I bailed on them. Fuck, Tolbert went. That's brutal. Tolbert going is really annoying. All right, let's take Dortch here for the bring back. Well, or Hunter Henry, right? No, I'm gonna do Henry. No, I'm gonna do Dortch. I'm gonna do Dortch. I am gonna do Drake Dortch. No, I didn't. I grew up a Cowboys fan, and basically they were the worst of all time. They were like they sucked. I moved to Kansas City the year they drafted Mahomes. I was at Mahomes' first start. I was at his first home start, and I just got swept up in it, man. I just got very swept up in it. And how could you not? How could you not get swept up in the Mahomes mania? And the Cowboys, who wants to be a Cowboys fan truly? Is any Cowboys fan happy? C-Money, are you happy? Does that team bring you joy? I don't think they bring you joy. Favorite fantasy football article of all time written by someone other than yourself? Almost anything that Sean Siegel has ever written on RotoViz. Like Sean is the absolute man. The Zero RB series on RotoViz I read every single year. Phenomenal stuff. Ben Gretsch writes some of my favorite fantasy football content ever on Stealing Signals, bengretsch.substack.com. Jacob Sanderson's Thinking About Thinking newsletter is great. The original Zero RB article. The original Zero RB article will just really change the way you think about fantasy football, even to this day. Yes, Karain, the legendary upside stuff. Karain is the absolute man. Karain. Oh, okay. I would have sworn. I'm gonna take Drake May. I would have sworn, guys, that this guy right here who just took Hunter Henry, the No Badger, I thought he was watching the stream and was gonna take Drake May. I was like, that's gonna happen. So I was trying not to say anything. Jason, salute you, brother. Yeah, I would say it is about 90% of the time that probably more. If you ever see me at a Best Ball Mania, I probably am streaming. Thoughts on Goddard? Not really that into him. On DraftKings, I prefer Taysom, who goes behind him, and on Underdog, I prefer Bowers, who goes right in that same range. Yeah, shout out to Jacob's articles. I would say kind of my Mount Rushmore of writers right now in fantasy football, which is not to say that anyone else is bad, but the Gretsch, Sean, Jacob, and Karain. Pretty much read all of their stuff personally. I like all of their articles a lot, and I think they're very good, and I think they help me be better at fantasy football with their stuff. The Short Kings logo, that's all Zach Landers, man. Zach Landers, dude, he creates very good content. He's got me, I'm not as quite as professional looking as Pete. And by the way, while we're talking about the logos on the stream, that top right of the corner there, up to $250 deposit bonus, it's a $1,000 deposit bonus right now. So very limited time only. You can get $1,000 as a first time depositor on Underdog. So I would consider doing that. It's good for Pete. Good for Pete to get some good teams. Anyone know if Addison is going to the court during the season? So the way that suspensions work in the NFL for drunk driving is that the second that you get charged, or the second that you plead guilty or whatever to the charge, you get a 3-game suspension. There's no ambiguity about it. It's just immediate 3-game suspension. All right, we do still need another tight end, but my favorite tight ends are basically gone now. So I am going to select, I guess, depending on what Salt Shaker does here, he takes Baker Mayfield. I'm going to select Bo Nix. This is a 3-quarterback team the whole way. So we've got Bo Nix with Javonte. We've got Drake May with Jalen Polk. No Chargers bring back. No Bengals bring back. And we've got Stafford with Cup and a Greg Dortch bring back. So I feel fine about that. Well, Kyle, Jacob is Canadian. Jacob is Canadian, so I think you might be misreading his political leanings. So I believe he doesn't have. I believe he's got no ability to control this, Jason. I think it's basically if you get charged with it. Actually, he does have control over this. Actually, I lied about that. But I think he will plead guilty and just get it over with, because he might make a deal. Actually, maybe the most likely thing is that Jordan Addison makes a deal because he's got a prior with the speeding stuff from last offseason. So my guess is that Jordan Addison is suspended for 3 games. I just don't know when those 3 games are going to be. What are the Pats doing at wide receiver? Who are their 3 main guys going to be? Well, what do you mean? What do you mean by main? Because I think to start the season, it is going to be Tyquan Thornton, KJ Osborne, and Patriots. I don't think it's going to be Jalen Polk. I need to pull up Yankees article. It's going to be... Oh, wait, hold on. I got to make this pick real quick. Parkinson. What, am I good? Bye week's good? No, my bye weeks are... Oh, thank God. Thank God I checked the bye weeks, bro. Thank God I checked the bye weeks. Greg Dulcich. We almost had double week 6 tight end buys. Yes, Pop Douglas. Sorry. I don't know why I just lost my mind right there. Now, the 3 that are going to be playing at the beginning of the season, in my opinion, are not the 3 that are going to be playing at the end of the season. My opinion for who's going to be at the meat of their wide receivers, I believe they're by week 8. it's going to be Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, and Kendrick Bourne. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't take Bourne or Osborne, because I do take Bourne or Osborne sometimes, and I have selected a couple Tyquan Thorntons, maybe not my proudest moment. Yeah, Polk, Bourne, Baker, and then I think Douglas is going to be the rotational one by the end of the season. So I don't take a ton of Douglas. Obviously, I take some just because I'm so invested in this Drake May thing, but I'm not like absolutely jamming him in. How's Murphy? Murphy being a very good dog today. Murphy and her sister are still going to be with me. Her sister's going to be with me for another week, and they're being very good dogs today. I was just hanging out with them, letting them out before I started the stream, and I was worried they were going to be really annoying, but they weren't. They were very good dogs, so we're feeling good. Jason, I'm glad you're happy, bro. I'm glad you're having a good time in this draft. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is my favorite early quarterback, not named Patrick. I think you draft out of the 9 hole, you get Jalen Hurts at pick 40 with AJ Brown, and you are sitting pretty. I have 17% Baker as a Jover. I mean, I hope it's not Jover because I've got a cool 9.5%, $656 worth of Javon Baker. So I hope it's not Jover. Carson Steele on the board. How come? Because I fucked my running back room, brother. I made this pick right here. I did Braylon Allen, and I can really only take 5 on this team because I'm a little behind at wide receiver. How close to the sister's going to live in Chicago, so they are going to be separated. That is going to suck. It's going to be hard for them at first, for sure. How often are you doing 3 quarterback teams on UD, and does the contest and field size matter? I'm not doing it a ton. I really only do it in this scenario where I strike out on all, like, I didn't even get a top 15 quarterback. The first quarterback I took was quarterback 19. So that is a spot where you want to be doing 3. But I don't think it's optimal. In fact, I think it is not optimal. And I prefer, my favorite structure for these is elite quarterback and one of Nix or May. All right, I am on the clock here real quick. I do need a wide receiver. I've got Stafford, May, and Nix. Is Shark gone? You know what, guys? I'm back in. Well, I'm not. I think DJ Shark is a bad pick, but I need a Chargers bring back. I've already got 2 tight ends. It's not, well, is there a Broncos wide receiver to take? You know what? No, I'm going to take Mims. I'm not going to debase. Oh, fuck! You guys saw. I clicked Mims. You guys saw. I just betrayed myself right there. You guys saw, though, I did click Mims, and it went blatant on me. I did click Marvin Mims, though. How old is my other dog? My other dog is like 10. My other dog, we don't know exactly because she's a rescue, but she's like 10 years old. How many times do you think you've seen the Eagles alpha stack happen this year? Brown in 1, player X in 2, Smith in 3, and Hurts in 4. I mean, a million times. And I think it's a great team. I think it's a great team. And I think that there's no reason not to do it. All right. I mean, this team does TJ frickin' Shark, man. That's kind of annoying. All right, let's see what I did here. I did Justin Jefferson at 1. That's obvious. I did Cooper Kupp at 2. Honestly, thinking through this Cooper Kupp at 2, it really did cause me problems, particularly when Kelce was here at 4-9. So Cooper Kupp is clearly the guy by my rankings, but maybe you take Neighbors there just for the buy stuff. But Cooper Kupp is so much better of a play. Barkley after ADP, that was fine. So I think this is actually where it was at. This right here. Wait, hold on. I need to minimize this comment. I actually should have taken Mark Andrews here and set up the Lamar Jackson thing. It would have hurt to pass on Worthy, although sliding glass doors. if I take Andrews here, and I've got, well, non-badge guy to my left, but he drafted a good team, so I think he was probably fine. Let one of these guys get worthy and do Lamar Andrews. That's what I should have done. This was a mistake. This Kelce pick, not very often does it feel like a mistake, but when Mahomes is gone and you're totally drawing thin, I think it was better to try and do Lamar and Andrews. Worthy, good. Keenan, good. Connor, small mistake. I was definitely hoping for David Montgomery there. Maybe should have done Kyler. Again, it's easy to say. Like if you would have told me that all of these guys got snapped off before my next pick, then I definitely would have taken Kyler. The Pollard pick, I'm feeling very good about right now. Pollard's like kind of a guy moving up as a priority target as we end here. Javonte at pick 100 feels very good. I'm starting to get low-key bullish on the Denver Broncos. Not like bullish. Not like I think they're going to win 10 games or anything, but I think they're going to be competent on offense in a way they weren't last year. Gabe Davis, again, I mean, it was a good pick, but it didn't work out how I wanted to because Trevor Lawrence went to the Jacksonville guy at picking at the turn. Polk, obviously feel very good about the Polk selection. Stafford ended up being huge because quarterbacks got ripped off the board. Like Darnold went at 158. Geno went before I would have had a chance to do Geno and Fant. Herbert went. Watson went ahead of ADP. Again, the Braylon Allen thing. So I guess with the Braylon Allen thing, what you have to ask is it better to do like the Mario Douglas and set up the May thing and then take Carson Steele later? I could go either way on that. Dortch, obviously pocket pick. May, 10 out of 10. Nix was a must on this team. Nix and Dulcich I really like. Shark at the end. 2 days in a row missing the pick on time. I do. I need Pete. I need Pete to train. I need Pete to train my nimble fingers. My fingers need to get a little bit more nimble. Yeah, congrats to CB13 for snapping off Carson Steele. CB13 knows alligator, bro. Kellen Moore is. I agree. I remain a Kellen Moore bull. I think Kellen Moore is a good coach. I think the offense was not really the issue at all with the Chargers last year. It seemed to be Brandon Staley's defense that was the issue. Nothing feels better than starting Justin Jefferson, Devin H. and DJ Moore. That just feels so free. Jason took Darnold early because it seems like he gets taken earlier, barely drafted in the rooms I've been in. I mean, yeah, I got no issue. The only thing that I would have done differently in your spot was I would have taken Jayden Reed instead of CJ Stroud and tried to push Stroud around. But, that's nitpicky. Dynasty Bros, he traded Josh Jacobs and Raheem Mostert for Jalen Warren, Dontavian Wicks, Braylon Allen, JJ McCarthy, Luke McCaffrey, and a 2025 third. Well, obviously I think that's a huge win for you. Like massive win, but what format is this? Is this best ball? Is this FFPC? Give me some specifics, bro. What do you think of Chris Godwin's trade value in Dynasty? And I would grade him more as a sell than a buy, for sure. Feels like he is going to get replaced by McMillions. Very quick. How do you feel about 18th round Jameis with Cooper and Njoku? Go with God, man. We've been drafting all off season. The vibes. You want to talk about vibes based selections? Not a worse vibes based pick than Deshaun Watson. Stefanski was saying he wants to play in the preseason game. Come on, man. He doesn't want to play. No one wants to play football less than Deshaun Watson, in my opinion. Wan'Dale Robinson always slips in your drafts. Well, he always slips in your drafts because he plays for the New York Football Giants. The 102. Guys, we are running I don't want to jinx it, but we are running so hot like the last week on all these stream drafts. I think the only time I've gotten the 112 has been with Jacob. So we're snapping off the 1-2 here. Honestly, 125 live concurrence when Pete and Liam are also live is unbelievable. Holy shit. Okay. Guys, we have a challenger to the most unhinged exposure. My man, Grape, has $4,266 of Donta Foreman. All right, you win. That is incredible. Incredible stuff there from him. All right, CeeDee Lamb. Bang, bang. That FFP, that Dynasty trade was an FFPC team and inherited a team that was shambles. Is it best ball? I've got a team I am so excited about. Let's do Dynasty Nerd Corner here. No one's gonna be in on this, but I've got a random FFPC Dynasty team that I am so excited about this year, like incredibly excited about this year. Zooming in on the board. Nope, that's too zoomed in. Wait. No, it's not. There we go. That should help. There was someone who commented on the most recent YouTube video that said that they watch these on their, first off, that says that they watch on their big screen TV. So shout out to that guy. I'm sorry, I don't remember your username right now, but he said it was too small on his TV to check the names. So I'm hoping that this helps. Managed, I mean, obviously I like it a little bit less than managed, just because you always prefer the higher end range. But like, yeah, to take over, to get anything for most certain Dynasty, honestly, is a win. I think you should be able to get a 20-25 second for Godwin, right? 20-25 second feels very fair for Chris Godwin. I need to, I'm trying to pull up. I gotta log into my FFPC account. I want to show you guys. Sadly, I think it's DJ Shark. Sadly, I believe that DJ Shark is the sacrificial X wide receiver for the Los Angeles Footballing Chargers. It's who I took in the last draft. Didn't make me feel good. It's almost certainly going to be Brennan Rice by the end of the season. But that was such a week one ass brain pick. Hateful shit. Beefcake's favorite start is JJ A-Chain Neighbors. Yeah, I mean, sure, I've got Neighbors ranked out of A-Chain. I don't know how you guys feel, but when you take Neighbors, don't you always feel a little bad? Godwin and a third for Jay Brooks. Yeah, I think that's fair, but definitely give me the Brooks side of that. Oh no, Mr. Matt Robinson is drafting to my left. Mr. Dagger drafting to my left. So let's remember that. Bradley Maddox, friends and family. We got a lot of no Badgers in here. I eat poop. That's what Josh Norris sees in his nightmares. Is the Jahmyr Gibbs, Devin A-Chain 1-2 turn drafter being named I eat poop and winning Ball Mania 5. When you started, I had Pete on my phone, Liam on my TV, and me on the computer. I mean, beautiful. Beautiful. You feel bad that you're probably drafting Jones. Jones who? Jones Hoomst. I've definitely thrown Thornton on some May teams in the puppy 3. Why not? Gotta live a little, right? If I'm that bullish on Drake May, I gotta take. Oh yeah, don't do that. Yeah, do not do. I'm out of the Daniel Jones business. I gotta take Justin Fields and Daniel Jones. I liked Zach Wilson yesterday. The touchdown that he threw to Brandon Johnson was a good touchdown. I mean, obviously, it's not changing my opinion on him that much. But good pick. See, this is why it gets messed up. Being way zoomed in like this is not good for this window. I got to figure out how to zoom in on the draft board window, but zoom out on this window. We took Cooper Kupp on the last one. We'll take Cooper Kupp on this one. Why not? This is awful. I got to zoom out. I can't do that. That was brutal. Okay. Wow. Is Tyron and Puka together bad? I don't know. I think we're about to find out. Is this going to be a Piss Boys room or not a Piss Boys room? We got to ask ourselves, is this going to be a Piss Boys room or is this not going to be a Piss Boys room? We already got a 2 running back. And Jonathan Taylor after ADP, that does make me lean thinking it's going to be a Piss Boys room. Kupp and Kyren are probably bad together, but whatever. It's a little bit more Kyren. And I don't love. All right, there we go. Am I out on Julio Jones? Yeah, isn't he retired? I think he's retired. If a QB season-ending injury happens, do you think the first person that gets called up for a trade is Zach Wilson? No, the first person that gets called is Mike White, who just got released by the Miami Dolphins. Mike White probably ends up becoming. Actually, he probably ends up becoming a Minnesota Viking now that I'm thinking about it. All right, I'm gonna do one more zoom in. Maybe that'll make it a little bit more palatable. I think 1x zoom is a little bit more palatable. Is Kyren and Kupp bad for a home league? That's a great question. My lean is no. Because I expect the Rams to be a very good offense and their defense is supposed to be bad. I saw they just granted their team defensive captain. They said go search for a trade if you want. So seems bad to allow your defensive captain to go seek a trade. So it should be a lot of points. Stafford, obviously Stafford is an injury risk, but I think it's fine. Maybe I'm just coping because I literally just took Kyren and Cooper Kupp together. But they seem fairly correlated at a team level. If the Rams, they just are not both going to go nuclear in a certain week. Let's go look at Kyren's best games last season, and I bet Kupp was bad in all of them. An easy schedule, Billy, doesn't matter if Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in the NFL. An easy schedule wasn't going to save Josh Rosen. All right. Let's do a little bit of investigative journalism. Kyren Williams' best game, you'd probably say it was this game against Arizona. 16 for 143, 6 for 161. Let's see what Cooper Kupp did in this game against the Arizona Cardinals. Cooper Kupp had 3 for 18 in this game. Tyler Higbee had 5 for 29 and 2. Puka had 4 for 27. All right, that lends some credence to the theory. Let's check this one. 28-20 against the Commies. What did Cooper Kupp do in this game? 8 for 111 and 1. I think the answer probably in the end is that 2 of the stud Rams can have a good game, but not 3. All right. How about this background beat shuffle? This is called night driving. Wow, this is an interesting thing that Tiny Man Sr. did here on the turn. He did Kelce and Pacheco instead of Kelce and Mahomes. So playing it maybe like a 3 quarterback team. I like that. Yeah, my final answer, easy, is that it's not bad, that it's okay. Final answer, Cooper Kupp and Kyren Williams together are okay. I also don't really like drafting Daniel Jones pass catchers. Neighbors is fine. Not like I'm not taking Neighbors, and I'm also taking Wan'Dale Robinson as well. But I'm not feeling great about it. The big brain take is that you're drafting a Drew Lock pass catcher. Yeah, I don't know if that's helping. Honestly, I don't know if that's helping your cause. What do you think about going super heavy on guys? Adine has 10 to 15 guys over 40%. Should I try and balance that or ride with your guys? How many teams do you have? If you've got like 500 teams, I would maybe consider diversifying that a little bit. If you've got 10 teams, I think you could go the other way. Theo Nation will never rise up. Theo Nation is never rising up. In redraft, would I take Pacheco or Henry? I would take Isaiah Pacheco in half PPR over Derrick Henry. 112 teams. I think at 112 teams, get your guys. 112 teams, get your guys. I think if you're doing like 300 teams, you need to make more of an effort to diversify. But at like less than 200 teams, I think you try and get your guys. What do you do with the 1, 2, and 0.5 PPR redraft when the board plays out like this draft did? Assuming you're not talking tight end premium. So like assuming you're talking not FFPC. I think you take Puka and Nico. Oh, stabbed in the heart. Stabbed in the gosh darn heart by Z-Kink 12 taking Mahomes there. Oh, brutal, man. All right, get the McBride, bring back here to my Rams. Now, little does Z-King 12 know that I'm about to shoot him in the heart too. He thinks that he's having a good day. I mean, he thinks he's having a good time. You guys already know. This man is about to be playing mini-men. This guy is about to there's no worse feeling in a draft. It feels like getting shot. Z-King 12 he's sitting at home right now and he's like, bro, incredible. I just got this sick Mahomes fall. Mahomes fell. I'm going to take Xavier Worthy. Sorry, buddy. Get ready to learn Juju Smith-Schuster, buddy. Get ready to learn Juju Smith-Schuster, buddy. Sorry, man. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. You should have taken Worthy first. If he would have taken Xavier Worthy first, I would not have taken Mahomes. Let that be a lesson. Let that be a lesson to everyone. You got to take, in this exact spot, when you're at the wrong side of the board, you got to take Worthy first. Because being in this spot, this happened to me in a big dog the other day. I did a big dog last week. This literal, I believe it was even pick 46. It might have been 47, but I'm pretty sure it was 46. And I did the same thing. I took Mahomes first, and the turn guy took Worthy. Because you just want Xavier Worthy, right? Like you just want Xavier Worthy. So you always, I know it's tempting because you get on the clock and you're like, oh, I got to take the ADP value. But if you think about it sequentially and how drafters draft, assuming that there are sharp drafters behind you, you got to take Worthy first. Are we about to see the first Juju Smith-Schuster pick in Best Ball Mania 5? Do you think we will see the first Best Ball Mania pick? Can someone say, what's the timestamp on that? I need to send that to Lanners. Let me I'm literally going to message Zach right now. All right. I just messaged Zach. We got to make a YouTube short out of that. That is great. Well, it was a valuable lesson. Any interest in Calvin Ridley? Another solid showing. Yeah, Sus Edwards. I know you're big on Calvin Ridley. If I lose this year because Calvin Ridley is him and Xavier Worthy is not him, it wasn't meant to be, man. It just was not meant to be. And that's okay. I'd love to do this. I would love to increase bringing viewers on. We talked about this before, though. You're really putting your life in your hands bringing a viewer on, because they could be weird. They could be bad TV. Like they could just be bad on YouTube or whatever. And yeah, but I don't mind bringing viewers on sounds fun. I'm into that. And it's a very cool idea. But how do you structure that so that you're not guaranteed to just like have a bad hour of stream? Like if you're just going to have a bad hour of the show, It's not ideal. Yeah, this would be great. For example, if someone is like a big, if someone is a big podcast, like not big, but just like has experience with podcasting or whatever. Yeah, or this, you can just use screenshot, you send it to me on Discord or whatever, and we just break down. I'm in on that. Yeah, we could do Discord calls. There are ways for it to be done. A lot of ways for it to be done, but I mean, also, you guys got to understand. I'm really flying by the seat of my pants with all this stuff. Like, basically, I lose my job. I get let go from my job. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I take all these meetings. I take all these calls. I start this YouTube channel. Like, I don't really know what the YouTube channel is going to be. And it's just also there's I had something and then I completely lost it. Thinking I just read this comment that Liam did a draft where he drafted 9 wide receivers and 7 of them have a week 12 bye week. I mean, I've been there. You want to tell? I've been there with week 6 buys. Week 6 buys have absolutely owned my soul before. I've never run an official poll, but I definitely have been like, all right, chat, you guys say I'm between these 2 players. Just type, like, I think I did it yesterday, actually. After John Boy Beats was on the stream, we started to do, I was just like, oh, I said everyone start typing your favorite 18th round pick and I'll pick one of them. What are the week 12 buys? I guess it's the Bills for Liam. That's why the week 12 buys are so bad for Liam. That's fair. Drew Dinkmeyer just messaged me. Oh no, guys, me on a co-owned keeper team I have with Drew Dinkmeyer, we have to throw Travis Kelce back to the Wolves. Very sad. All right, where are we at here? We have 1 running back. That's Kyron Williams. We have CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Xavier Worthy, Trey McBride. We are in the weeds. We are struggling at wide receiver. George Kittle does nothing for the team. We've got plenty of quarterback options. We can afford a Keon Coleman luxury pick here. It's Nepo baby season in the NFL, and Keon Coleman is CeeDee Lamb's cousin. So we have a little bit of family. We got a little bit of family correlation in here. Keon Coleman is CeeDee Lamb's cousin. We've got them on the same team. You can't beat that. All right, we are about back up on the clock again. Who is Mr. Dagger going to take? He takes Alvin Kamara. All right, so I'm either David Montgomery or Ladd here. Ladd correlates with you know who. You guys know who he correlates with. What do we do? All right, here we go. Ladd or Demont. Ladd or David Montgomery, boys. Ladd or David Montgomery. I'm probably going to take David Montgomery. Let's be honest. I think David Montgomery. Yeah, okay. Really wish Brown didn't make it back to the Mahomes team. I wanted to see the Juju click. He still might. You never know. All right, we took Demont. Did I already give my thoughts on Brennan Rice going 1 for 7 in his last preseason game? It's not great, AW. In fact, it's bad. It's quite bad. Jerry Rice Jr., his older brother, was tweeting about how well Semi Fehoko was playing. Do you guys see this tweet? You guys might not be enough in the weeds to be reading Jerry Rice Jr.'s tweet about his younger brother. So Jerry Rice Jr. was tweeting about how bad Easton Stick was playing, which to me is very funny. I got to go find this tweet. Jerry Rice Jr. Oh, his account's gone. I think he deleted his account. Maybe he didn't. He didn't delete his account, but he did delete the tweet. He did delete the tweet complaining about Easton Stick and complimenting. Oh, Zach. It's okay, buddy. We had a little bit of fun at your expense, Zach, where we told you that you in that spot you have to take Worthy first. You have to take Worthy before you take Patrick Mahomes. Go back and watch it. You'll think it's pretty funny. We should do. Oh, this is great. This is absolutely great, Beefcake. We got to I'm gonna put that up in the Swolecast chat for tomorrow. Question on a 20 max best ball entry: how many lineups would you expect to advance out of the first round and consider a success? This is my first year playing volume best ball. Well, your expectation is to advance 8.3% of your teams. That would be average. Any more, if you advance any more than 8.3% of your teams, you're a better than average player, or you got better than average results. So I guess your expectation would be 2.2, 2.3 or something like that for 20 teams. So if you got 3 through, you'd be above average. If you got 2 through, you'd be slightly below average, theoretically, thinking about how those things work. Yeah, Jerry Rice Jr. deleted the tweets. Jerry Rice Jr. deleted the tweets. I tried to find them, but they're gone. Do the Bears make the playoffs? Yes. The Bears do make the playoffs. You heard it here first. Shouldn't we expect 2 of 12? I can't answer that for you. 8.3% of teams advance. No. Damn. I did the bad math. It's not 8.3%. It's because 2 advance, so it's not 8.3. It's 16.6. 16.6. There you go. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Someone just asked my favorite tight end not named Travis. For fantasy, it's Brock Bowers. It's Brock Bowers who just went in this draft. This is a great idea. Can we start a GoFundMe for the last 10 days of drafting in Best Ball Mania for Pretty Ricky to tweet that Lamb is holding out? I would pay. I'll tell you what. I'd pay Pretty Ricky $100 to tweet that. I'd pay him $100. Real question: how likely is it to advance 0 teams out of 200 drafts? Ask someone else to do the math. Ask someone else to do the math. That ain't me. Stefan says nearly as difficult as advancing 1 to the finals. Yeah, truly. These are Dink and I's keepers. We have 4 keepers. St. Brown round 7, T round 6, Brees round 2, Kelce round 3, Ridley round 11. So it's Kelce round 3 or Ridley round 11. All right, sorted out keepers with Dinkmeyer. We are on the clock. We are at pick 95. Dak's ADP is 98. I don't want to risk not getting him with Lamb, so we're going to take him real quick. We've got Kyron Williams and David Montgomery at running back. We've got CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Xavier Worthy, and Keon Coleman at wide receiver with Trey McBride at tight end. Wide receiver pick would be Wicks. So it's Wicks or Javonte Williams or Chase Brown. This DeAndre Swift ranking is wrong. I need to move him down. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to stick with what I know. I'm taking Chase Brown. Chase Brown, pick 98. Did I ever watch receiver? I never watched receiver. Depends how many Chase. This is shameful. This is insanely shameful. 23 likes, guys. This is my livelihood, fellas. 23 likes with only 162 is lower than our average, obviously, because I'm going up against Pete and Liam right now. But come on, boys. Don't do me like that. 23 likes. Please like. Please subscribe. This is, you know what? This is so true. And honestly, it's not even, we must have a lot more likes. This is so true. You can't come far I can't get this far in draft season and give up on Chase Brown, especially because all the news has been good. Now, it's August 26th and maybe August 28th, maybe Samaj P. Ryan is going to be on the Cincinnati Bengals and some of these Chase Brown picks are going to feel bad. And if they feel bad, you know, it is what it is. I died the way that I lived. Drafting running backs who are fast but can't really play the game and don't have a ton of feel for what to do in between the tackles. But as of right now, the closing line value on these Chase Brown picks feel very good. But the reason why I have been backing down on him is not even a good or logical one. It's actually a bad one, which is that I was just in a spot to take Chase Brown in 3 of the big dogs. And so when I look at my dollar exposure, the dollar exposure just looks insane on Chase Brown. And that's a bad way to play the game. That's just not thinking clearly. So thank you for that, Brian. I need to be thinking clearly. I'm actually at this same spot. I went so far on Brown, he came up so much. I flipped to taking a little bit same. I had legit 0 Zach Moss. I'm now up to 8.5%, $557 of Zach Moss. Is Chase Brown, I believe Chase Brown is my highest exposure player. No, Jalen McMillan is my highest exposure player. Let's check some big board exposures here while we wait for our next selection. Big board exposure. Number 1 player, Chase Brown. 68% Chase Brown, 65% Jalen McMillan, 65% Dylan Laube, 55% Braylon Allen. So if you have 2K into Brown, but 14%, and 1.2K into Javonte at 20%, who do you consider to have more of? I mean, I think the money matters more. Obviously, the thing with Chase Brown is I am staked in those entries. So I'm splitting those entries with someone, so the money is not a 1-to-1 translation. Think about how many teams. 170. 150 into the big board and 20 into the little board. 68% Chase Brown. I mean, he was like free in the big board. He was like what, like running back 40 in the big board or something? He was the most free player. So, got to do it. All right. I would have taken Goddard on this team, actually. I guess this is going to end up being a Stafford team, probably. Fine by me. This can be a 2-quarterback team and a 2 tight end team, so we've got a little bit of extra luxury at wide receiver and at running back. This team's actually shaping up pretty well. It's sticking to my rule, which is the 1-to-1 rule on CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. We were on the clock. Speaking of Rico Dowdle, someone in the chat just said Rico Dowdle. Speaking of Rico Dowdle, welcome to the team, Rico. So we are now at, I never do this. We are like 1-to-1. Kyron, Montgomery, Chase Brown, Rico. That's a slappy ass running back room. You take David Montgomery out of there, that's like the all slappy running back room. No, it's not. I think earlier today drafted the literal all slappy running back room, like the perfect 10 out of 10 slappy running back room. I gotta pull it up because it's so funny. Sweating out a pick here. All right. So interesting spot. Gabe Davis is here, who I have literally one spot positionally higher, but I'm gonna take Polk again for another team in a row because I want to have another chance to take Drake May. So I'm going to take Jalen Polk because I don't need Trevor Lawrence was already gone on this team. Chase Brown over Jonathan Brooks. Yeah, for me, Chase Brown is on a good team. Jonathan Brooks is on a bad team. So that's how I feel about that. All right. I do need to literally pull up the all-time slappy running back team. It was all-time slappy running back team is a 0 RB team. You do Chase Brown, you do Jalen Warren, you do Rico Dowdle, Braylon Allen, Audric Estime, and Carson Steele. That is the ultimate slappy running back room. That is all slappies all the time. Getting pinged in Discord that one of my good friends Tim, who hangs out in the TakeCast / Davis Mattek Discord, is victory lapping, telling me 3 months ago that Andre Yoshibas was going to beat out Jermaine Burton. That's a guy. Someone commented earlier. What's a guy you're sprinting to take in slow drafts right now to get your exposure above 0%? Well, the first answer is Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert is the guy I'm actively trying to take in all these. But the guy I'm trying to do more drafts to avoid taking to get my number down is Jermaine Burton. Every Denver beat writer has said P. Ryan's getting cut. Not one of them says he's making the team. He doesn't fit the team. They have like Estime, it doesn't. He doesn't fit at all what they're doing. Doesn't mean he will be cut, but that's just what he didn't even play. Did he play in any of the preseason games? Like, I just don't even know what he's doing there. There's been speculation that there's like a handshake deal in place between the Bengals and the Broncos to send him to the Bengals for a 7th round pick. Be pretty fucking bad. Be pretty bad for me. So I hope it doesn't happen. What is Jalen Polk's ceiling? It depends on what you think Drake May's ceiling is. If you think Drake May can be, rookie year, if you think he can be Josh Allen, if you think he can be Justin Herbert, then Jalen Polk's ceiling is really high. If you think he's Josh Rosen, he's got no ceiling. I don't even have a good answer to this question. Definitely a Cowboy like Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, Julius Jones. These guys would have been the ultimate slappy picks. Lee Evans. Cordarrelle Patterson having a 50-yard touchdown and actually looking to do it had my whole household in real danger. You're not alone. You are not alone. But that was always going to be the deal with Arthur Smith. You hire Arthur Smith, you do get a good run game. No one would ever say that Arthur Smith does not design a good run game. But on top of that, you were also going to have the most annoying usage of your players in the red zone of all time. Good lesson to be learned, Big Lenny. You do need to be insanely careful with these day 3 wide receivers, because you can get some real wins. Obviously, we all felt a lot better about our ability to predict because of the Puka Nacua thing. Brian is at 32% Khalil Herbert. He must know ball. Brian, you must know. Do you know ball, or did you just think he was going to end up on the Cowboys? Jordan, it's kind of hard to say what slappy means. It doesn't mean not sharp. I think slappies can be good at fantasy. In fact, I kind of identify as a slappy, to be honest. And it doesn't mean you're not good. It just kind of means it means you're too excitable is what I mean. You just get too excited. You get some news, or you get a new player and you just get too excited. Like, I read an article about Jalen Tolbert, how he practiced all offseason in Dak's backyard, and I just get too excited. Yeah, great example. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs slap. I just get too excited. I'm too excited about Xavier Worthy. I cannot possibly contain my excitement. That's really what it is. More or less. It's very important. Being a slappy, it's okay. Tricky spot. What do you do here? Our running back room is Kyren Williams, David Montgomery, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle. It's a good spot to take Stafford. Man on the turn. Have any Rams? No, he doesn't. I'm going to take Jalen Tolbert here for the Dak stuff. And if this fella in the chat wants to take Matt Stafford, then he can. Yes, it's 8.3%, except I'm wrong. It's not even 8.3%. It's 16.6%. So I was wrong to begin with. Very real chance. Very real chance. This is exactly what a slappy is. Drafting Bo Nix in the 15th round is slappy. You guys literally just saw me do this in the last draft. I took Drake. All right, no, I did Drake May 15, Bo Nix 16th round. Being a slappy for someone is just being totally sold on their. Sure. All right, Matthew Stafford. All right, so we're done at quarterback with Prescott and Stafford. We've got Kyren Williams, David Montgomery, Chase Brown, and Rico Dowdle. We need a minimum of one more. We could do 6. CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, Jalen Polk, Jalen Tolbert, and Trey McBride. It's our bring back there at tight end. More rumors of Ayuk to Pittsburgh would lead to some crazy ADP swings over the final 10 days. I mean, that situation, man. What do you do? What do you actually do with that situation where it's 10 days away from the season? Brandon Ayuk has not practiced. Kyle Shanahan has not set anything up for him. Like, I guarantee you, Jacob Cowing is getting routes in week 1 that he would not have had Brandon Ayuk been there, even if he is on the team. Pittsburgh is like the terrible landing spot. Absolutely. You could not find. It's like he doesn't have a quarterback who can distribute him the ball. It's low volume. It's just terrible. It's just awful. Exactly. I'm a Jalen Tolbert slappy. Just took him like 30 spots ahead of ADP. Do you consider Kyren going in the 2nd of BBM that much different than him going in the 3rd? I don't really consider it at all, but it definitely is just going to change the combos. This is the easiest definition. Slappy is just a bad reg. Someone who plays a lot, but is not particularly good at the game. You take Ayuk in your Mahomes stacks. I mean, I am taking Ayuk here. Where you took him, Zach. That's right. And I mean, I would have taken Devonta Smith where you did, but maybe you were setting this up the whole time. This is funny, though. Pickens and Ayuk. It's like, yeah, you definitely, this team does not want the trade to happen for sure. This is also underreported. Trent Williams also still holding out. Pretty underreported. Sure. Keep clicking. I mean, I would not take Brandon. I wouldn't take Brandon Ayuk in the 2nd round as a 49er. I wasn't taking him there anyways. Sure, I keep clicking Debo. Yeah, Debo is one of the best players in fantasy football. So I keep taking him because he's a good pick. Take Debo at the 1-2 turn? Absolutely. I think this man did so. No, he didn't. That was the last draft. Where he did it. Depends on the sport, depends on the contest. I would not label myself a best ball slappy. There are definitely some fantasy sports that I play in where I'm a bad reg. Not best ball, but there definitely are some where I'm more akin to a slappy than a good reg. Pearsall shoulder help. I mean, this Pearsall shit. Kyle Shanahan loves to take a 0, boys. Kyle Shanahan loves to log on and just take a guy whose mean expectation return for him is 0 points. Mr. I Am The Sims has a lot of Chase Brown, and I'm scared he kind of sucks. Well, sure, but don't let fear get the best of you. He might suck, but who cares? Who cares, man? The likelihood is that he doesn't suck. The likelihood is that he's probably fine and definitely more explosive. That's the real thing, is that he's more explosive than Zach Moss. So the scenarios where he wins the job, you get a lot more fantasy points than the scenarios where Zach Moss wins the job, is really the big difference between those two players. Sure, Slappy pushing all the chips in on an exciting play regardless of the consequences or situation. Being not very price sensitive is also pretty slappy, where all you care about is the player. Okay. We do need another running back. We don't need to take Drake May on this team. Another wide receiver could be good, although this is a very dead range of wide receiver. Could take Fant here. Doesn't really correlate with anyone. No, we're not going to take Fant here, actually, because there's another tight end that I want. I'm going to take Kamani Vidal. Really moved Vidal up in my rankings. moved Vidal up in my heart. He was very good in that preseason game. You definitely did start the Slappy discussion. It's near and dear to these people's hearts. How weird is it to think about life before best ball? Like, what did we do all summer? We played Dynasty leagues, I guess, is what a lot of us did. Oh, this is a good Yoshi Boss pick. So we've got Chase Brown, very good Yoshi Boss pick. I would have loved to have taken Greg Dortch there, but TF Win took him at 159 and had different ideas for me. What about if Mechie gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys? Have you thought about that? No team needs to trade for a wide receiver more than the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, also it's true. We are all slappies to the high stakes regs. That's true. Plan to chase any overlay in the sprint. Man, I would love to chase overlay in the sprint, but I literally just do not think I have time. I did not manage my time well enough this offseason with entering these contests. When I started streaming, I believe I only had 50 entries into Ball Mania, and I only had like 35 entries in on DraftKings. So I just was running way behind. This is an interesting question. Is Yoshi Voss over Burton week 1 brain? So it definitely is, but it's also an exposure thing. I've got, for a little while, Jermaine Burton was my most drafted player. And essentially it sounds like Jermaine Burton, the Chiefs hate him. Or not the Chiefs, the Bengals. They just he's not endearing himself to anyone in the building. Yoshi Voss worked very hard over the offseason. I mentioned this on the stream before, but Yoshi Voss and Chase Brown together went to Atlanta and hired a private wide receiver coach. Actually, funnily enough, the private wide receiver, I believe his name is Drew Lieberman. I messaged him on Twitter to see if he wanted to do a podcast with me. So we might get that eventually. But they worked with this guy, Drew Lieberman, and he just put the work in. So he shows, and remember, this guy played junior varsity football at Princeton for his first 2 years. He does not know a ton of the intricacies of playing the position. So I think that kind of off-season work could really help him. And he sounds like a guy coaches like a heptathlete, hardworking guy, went to Princeton. He's going to show up. He's going to know all the answers. He's going to know the playbook, all that shit. Burton is the exact opposite. Burton has every gift in the world. People were, a lot of the scouts said if Burton wasn't such a dick, he would have been a first round pick, but he just can't. And coaches just don't like him. And that type of stuff really matters. So it is, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit of week 1 brain, but it's also just betting Yoshi Voss might just be the guy. And also trying to balance those exposures out. I'm not treating the Musgrave and Kmet stuff as noise. I think particularly Kmet. So Shane Waldron was OC for 3 years in Seattle. The greatest snap share any tight end ever had was 64%, and it was Gerald Everett is the one who led his tight end rooms and snaps. And every year there was a tight end who played at least 40, the tight end 2 who played at least 47% of the snaps. He just likes to rotate his tight ends. He likes to play actually likes to play 3 tight ends and a lot of 12 personnel. Now, Musgrave, it seems like he's probably just better than Tucker Kraft, but Tucker Kraft can play a little bit. They're just weirdly priced to me. I prefer the guys, Fant, Likely, Sinnott, Henry, the guys who are priced right after them, more than those guys. I will be doing in-season DFS content. I will be doing a minimum of 3 weekly DFS streams on the channel this year. Maybe more. There will be showdown stuff. There will be weekly stuff. I'll have a Sims focus show where I'm kind of running through all the stuff going on in the Sims. There's going to be a lot of DFS content here on the channel. Would love to hear your thoughts on UD's tournament offerings this year. I think the thing is, though, is the small field mid-stakes offerings are only for people like us. It's only for that does not get the wheels, that does not get the juices flowing for the normal person. Hopefully Tank Dell didn't get drafted by you in the 3rd round. I don't know what that means. Tank Dell's a good player, though. I do like Tank Dell. I think he's very good. Do you make your own daily projections? I don't anymore. I will be, I am an affiliate of rotogrinders.com. So that's where the DFS stuff is going to be coming from this year. Colby Parkinson in the 16th round. Carson Steele in the 16th round. I hate you guys. You guys don't let me have shit. You guys don't let me have nothing. You guys don't let me have a gosh darn thing. All right. Say line, Bart. Am I good on bye weeks here? Juwan Johnson, Trey McBride, sure. Man. How do I feel about Kyler, MHJ, McBride, Connor all on the same team? That's probably too many. That's probably too many, in my opinion. But what do I know? Just any week that the Cardinals have a bad game, it is over for you, bro. Golly. Carson Steele and Estime are gone. Carson Steele and Estime are gone. And Drake May's gone. Oh, dude, you guys are killing me. I might just take Bo Nix because I don't know what else to do. God damn it. All right, I'll take Jordan Whittington. When Braylon Allen is your running back 3, you got to reach for Carson Steele. That's true. I mean, what a sick, hyper-fragile team, though. Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Braylon Allen, Carson Steele. Sorry. In this situation, I'm in this draft. Conklin versus another tight end. Conklin and Ingram have the same bye. Yeah, you don't want 2 tight ends with the same bye, really, most of the time. Might be Cam Akers' time. Do you see those spin moves, bro? Do you see those spin moves, everybody? Insane spin moves. I mean, I think you want to talk. Carson Steele is slappy. Cam Akers is pretty freaking slappy. All right. This did need to be a 6 running back team, but I just ran out of guys. You straight up ran out of guys I wanted to take. Actually, there is a guy. My head is still spinning. Dylan, I thought you were a member of the channel, bro. You let it lapse? Sad. Would love to hear my thoughts on the Rizzler. I only vaguely know what that means. It's like a TikTok kid, right? I think so. I would never peer pressure you. I just always really notice, Dylan, your comments because you have the very funny Kadarius Toney picture. Isn't this hat sick? My wife got this for me for my birthday. She knows what's up. Become a lot more interested in Ingram. Been taking him as a 2nd tight end on McBride, Andrews, Fergie teams. I would definitely stop at 2 tight ends on those teams. I still prefer taking Brock Bowers. This is a key point. Cam Akers does suck. And we were just talking about Jermaine Burton, his coach is not liking him. Every Cam Akers coach has also gotten sick of him, which might mean something. I actually have a secret play that's not Dylan Laube that you guys are. Well, it's going to be a real say the line Bart situation. Salute, Dylan. Dylan, are you in the Discord? Are you? I assume you're in there. Where would Taysom go if he was a tight end? Taysom would go right here. Right about here. In between Njoku and Goddard. Right about there. McMillan at 148 is wild. Yeah, it's true. Feels like yesterday he was going undrafted. You can't. That's the thing about drafting in August. That is the thing about drafting in August. Is that you are definitely going to gain a lot of informational clarity, but you are also going to any guy who is valuable you are going to really lose value on them in the last like 15 days. Sure, why not? I think there's a very small smidgen left for Tyquan Thornton. He's very fast. Will be the best quarterback he's ever played with. Drake May loves to throw deep. I would probably pick him up on some Dynasty waiver wires. This is the slappy question of the day. Why do people consider Pitts an elite tight end? Because he had a 1,000-yard receiving season as a rookie. It's very hard to do for a tight end. When did the winning teams get drafted for each of the years? It is known. Crane's was on July 18th. Fareed's was in August. I don't know Herzig's. Liam's was also in July. No, this is not an Evan Hull team. It's I have something even more fun that we're gonna do with this 18th round pick. If I had all the time in the world, how would you ideally max BBM? I would do like 5 the day it opened. I would do a bunch in June after minicamp. And then I would start hammering like 5 a day once training camp started. Are you guys woke? How woke are you guys? Tell me if you guys are woke enough to take Sion Vaki as your 6th running back. He's currently projected to make the roster on The Athletic. Sion Vaki. Welcome to the team. No! How did that happen? How did that happen? He was not in my queue. I didn't change my positional max. I didn't change my positional max from doing the fucking 91 fast puppies. I didn't change my positional max. I didn't change my positional max. Is there anything good about that pick? It does not correlate. I don't have a Chicago player. Oh, guys. It's not that Geno is a bad pick. It's not that Geno is not a bad pick at all. But I just got so jazzed up. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, this will be so fun. We're ending the stream. I'm about to go do ADP chasing. Sion Vaki. It's good content. So let this be a reminder to you. If you were doing any auto drafts, go change your positional maxes right now. Could have been a lot worse. Yeah, could have been. If that was a Russell Wilson pick, it would have been over. It would have been over. All right. Let's recap and let's get out of here. CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, Trey McBride, Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, David Montgomery, Dak Prescott, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Polk, Jalen Tolbert, Matthew Stafford, Kamani Vidal, Andre Yoshibas, Juwan Johnson, Jordan Whittington, and let's just pretend that says Sion Vaki. Let's just pretend that it says Sion Vaki. Most annoying picks in the draft, J-Pet right here taking Colby Parkinson and Carson Steele. And also Bradley, I know you're in the channel. Bradley, you should feel bad for this right here. You should have taken Sion Vaki. You want to talk about real tilt for me? You would have snapped me on Sion Vaki. Oh, brutal stuff, guys. Brutal stuff. We do. We have the answer to what is a slappy clipped. All right. I have got to go take my dogs outside. Got to go take the puppy outside. And I'm going to be back in 45 minutes for ADP chasing. If you have not deposited on underdog.com using promo code Davis and you're watching the stream, you made it this far, I would greatly encourage you to do that. I would also greatly encourage you to check out patreon.com/Davis Mattek. It's your premium subscription there, rankings, articles, all my cool in-season stuff. Or become a member of the YouTube channel and hang out in Discord. All you need to do, Dylan, all that you need to do is if you just link your Discord account to YouTube, it'll be right there. But you can also just send me a DM on Twitter, Dylan. Send me a DM on Twitter, and I will add you manually to the Discord. No problem. They say getting sniped on quarterback is how you win BBM. What if positional limits round 18 Geno is how you win 1.5 million? Well, if getting positional max limited on Geno over Sion Vaki is what's going to win you $1.5 million, then I would say that I am well positioned to do so. Everyone, thank you for hanging out. The answer to Diddy draft worthy is always yes. Don't want to get shot. Hope to see you guys in the Discord. Hope to see you guys in the Patreon. And I will see you all back for just